How many stories do I have about being a woman and surviving in a man's world?
Surviving in a man's world.
I have so many stories.
I thought straight away, I don't really have an experience, nothing serious. I've been pretty much lucky.
Over the past few days, I've kind of had to face a lot of things that I wouldn't say I normalized, but I kind of pushed aside. And I guess the thing is, like, the things that we do push aside just to kind of continue.
It happened once on a winter night back in 2008, an incident I will never forget. It did not have consequences more than the sole fear of what could have happened if two male friends of mine had not been there to protect me.
I remember one time I was returning home to New Jersey from a long working day in the city. After I got out the interstate minivan, someone behind me said, "Whoa, I like your dress." I turned around to this young male and said, "Thank you." I thought that would be okay
Be okay.
and expected no further interaction. However, this guy kept asking me a bunch of questions. Though I cannot recall the details, questions were about whether I am single and whether I am living alone. I saw he stared at my butt while he was walking and talking. His acts left me felt so uncomfortable that I afraid he will follow me home. Finally, I walked into the CVS and he left me alone. I really dislike this kind of act which create only threats to women.
I suppressed a lot of stories about me not feeling safe or catcalling or things like that until the Me Too movement started. And when the Me Too movement started, I started thinking about, because at first I was like, oh, I haven't had that many negative experiences or anything like that. And it really got me thinking. And I realized I repressed a lot of memories of being, feeling unsafe.
So many stories of inappropriate interactions.
Inappropriate interactions.
And the latest one only happened a couple of days ago. I work in a bike shop, and I was installing pedals on this man's bicycle. And as I did so, I saw him pull out his phone to take a photo. And I was like, oh, and I quickly back out of the way. I was like, please take a photo of your bike. And he put down his phone because he wasn't going to take the photo unless I was in it. And he's like, no, get back in. I said, okay, fine. And
We were returning, my two male friends and I, to the Westford subway station in the south of Manhattan to take the subway. We had shared a fun dinner and some drinks, and the time had come a little late to go back home. It was later than 10 at night, and trains had turned local due to the change in service at night. At the Westford station, my two friends were going to take the F train while I would take the A train.
Atwa chayu man plutsen wa man chawarti zid wali bi chala minno wa go pelgit diuma. But then priklan bi chala zilli ana al Dwayne Reed. O an etishan tla wali tama atwa khana shakiliya gu jadda umire qachana shakhana ati garik ati fuck her. And Ana Jawibli Sawari Qalu Miri, fuck you. Who are you to talk to me like that? And then Miri Qali, oh, ati eat lucky qad khana shabaye sayillach. Oh, ze sadrok maligura. وحمزمه وباسط بخري وبعدين أنا would just want to fight with him back and forth verbally. And I felt so afraid.
Afraid.
وليطا وإن خامندي حاوى به or no one ناشب ما خيوالي وبصراحة وقو كل جدة was like it was so embarrassing قد كل ناشي بغزاي أول هتخهم زميل باصي.
You know, and then I ignore the whole thing and I start putting the pedals back on, and then I notice him quickly take other photos of me doing other things. I then installed cleats on his shoes, and he asks me, "Are you a cyclist?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, definitely." He's like, "I could tell." I go, "Okay." It's a little unnerving. I was like, "Was it because of my large calves?" And he goes, "No, your thighs." And I go, "Oh no." In my head, I'm like, this man has been ogling my body, and specifically my thighs, which is really kind of intimate. And I mean, it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time that I have to then take an awkward comment and bring it into a sense of, oh no, this is like an okay thing to then say to someone.
It's not okay.
And like just try to keep the conversation moving and, work with this customer as fast as I can so I can get them out of my space in the most customer service oriented way.
And the memory that really disturbs me the most is I was 23 years old, living in LA at the time, and I was a barista. And, so my outfit heading to work would be, jeans and a t-shirt, hair in a ponytail. So it was early morning, like around 6 or 7 a.m., and I was walking to work, and I had a backpack on because I wasn't into purses or anything at that time. And I was walking to work, and this gentleman started pacing me in his car on the street while I was walking on the sidewalk.
From, I guess, when I was an adolescent up until now, I've always kind of, like most girls, we encounter some sort of attention that's really aggressive. But this one was really scary. So I was living in Burbank at the time. I don't know how old I was, probably like 27, 28. And back then, Blockbuster was still around, and I would rent movies all the time. There was a Blockbuster right around the corner. So I'd walk down, rent a movie, come back, walk, return it, And one night, it was dark, but I was like, oh, I have to return this movie. I didn't want to drive over there because, they say don't walk at night. But I didn't want to drive over there because the parking lot was tiny. It's a pain to get in and out. It's just easier to walk. And Burbank is considered a pretty safe neighborhood. So I did that. I put on my boots. I'm wearing like sweatpants and a hoodie or a zip-up shirt. And I go walk over there, return the movie. Now, the street's pretty well lit, especially the main street. But on my way back to my apartment, I'm walking down my street, which is a little bit less lit, but still lit and pretty quiet, and suburban homes and things. There's this man walking towards me, and I'm walking like towards him, so we're about to pass each other.
We bid farewell to each other, and after 10 minutes of my lonely wait for the A train, my two friends came back searching for me with pale faces. I was surprised. I asked them why they had returned to me, and they could only point discreetly toward a hidden man next to the subway maps on the same platform I was on, dressed in a thick light brown jacket and a winter hat that would allow very little of his face to be seen. The man noted the return of my friends, and in view of that, he went away to later appear on the opposite platform, which corresponded to the opposite direction of the train. He boarded his opposite train, and we did not see him again. Clearly, that strange man had some intention related to me, which he had to cancel in view of my two friends' timely return. What could have happened if they had not had the heartbeat to return by my side? That unanswered fear is all that remains. But most importantly, it stays in my experience the memory of those two noble men, friends of mine, who knew how to protect my safety when it was most needed.
But then I started to think carefully about it and I got scared. I got scared because of the amount of things we consider normal and how we are so quick to sweep it under the rug. What is normal?
What is normal?
What is
normal?
Normal is walking alone on the street with your headphones in at night, or if you are surrounded by men, and you turn the music down or even turn it off in order to be more alert. But I leave them on, just in case. They say sometimes it's better not to hear things. It's super practical.
Rolled down his window and was like, hey, how much for the day? Hey, you want to spend the day with me? And then pulled his car in front of me in the sidewalk and like blocked my path from being able to walk and was like, come on, spend the day with me. Come on, spend the day with me. And I just had no idea how to respond. I felt so unsafe. I thought, I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to get out of this. And I just was like, leave me alone. I'm on my way to work. Leave me alone. I'm on my way to
The
work.
latest thing that happened was a day before that, where a customer I had actually helped over the summer with getting a new bike and getting him situated and, you know, all the things, actually tracked me down over the internet, found my webpage, and contacted me and asked me out. And that's alarming. It's not sweet. It's not cool. It's alarming. You know, and I, again, given all of my history with this, I have made a promise to myself where I'm not going to stop being nice to people. I'm not going to stop being as bubbly and kind as I am. I am going to stay the same, and I'm going to also be as beautiful as I can. I'm not going to hide myself so that I don't attract this unwanted attention. Because I also found out it doesn't matter. You will always get this unwanted attention. You know, in the bike shop, I wear a bike shirt, a mechanic shirt, and I wear black jeans, and I am in no way asking for any of that.
No way asking.
Not that should be a thing anyways, but it's like, it doesn't matter. So I might as well shine and be the best version of me that I possibly can.
And so as I passed him, like I never do the eye contact or anything really, especially if I'm walking by myself at night. But I just kind of pass him. But I always am aware of when I'm walking alone of people around me. So I walk past and I kind of catch him. I turn, I catch him out of the corner of my eye, and he stopped. And then he turned around and started walking behind me. And I was like, what this? For a minute, I thought I was imagining this. I was like, he's not following me. Are you really? And so I kind of pick up my pace. He picks up his pace. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? It's dark. I don't know. Like, he could pull me somewhere. If I scream, would anyone even look? You know? And I'm almost to my place, and I'm like, God, I don't want him to know where I live, because I lived in a duplex, so he could just break a window, climb in through the window, whatever, like on the first floor. I'm like, I don't know how to get into my apartment. I don't know where to go. I can't, my car is in the back, and that's even darker and more secluded. And so I'm like going through all these scenarios, and I'm walking faster, he's walking faster, and he reaches out his hand. And I swear I don't know if he was about to grab me. I don't see what else he was about to do, but I know that right then, he's right up on me. My neighbor walks out of his house, and the guy stops. The guy behind me stops. And he just kind of stands there. And I sneak around the other side of my apartment, so he can't see exactly where I go in. And I'm like, oh my God, he was really following me. He was really about to grab me. And because he just stopped and stood in the sidewalk, like there was nothing else there for him to catch his attention or whatever. He just got caught, basically. And my neighbor didn't know what was going on. He just comes out, walks out, and I slip away, and the guy's just there. I go into my house, and I peek through the windows. I don't turn on the lights for hours. And I peek through the windows to see if he's still there. And then I saw that he walked off. And that was like one of the most terrifying things in my life. I was like, oh my God, someone almost got me. Oh my God.
And no. And he finally pulled out and drove away. And, you know, I walked to work and I went about my day and you know, I repressed it. I pushed it down. I, you know, really forgot about it until the Me Too movement started happening. And I thought about this and I was like, I can't believe that I tried to normalize something like this.
Normal is walking and acting as a tough, kick-ass girl. Those things won't affect me, and I'm totally over it. Normal is getting your keys ready out of your purse when you are 1 block away from home. Also, when you're going out with your friends, you say, I have a boyfriend, when you want to be left alone having fun with your friends. Because no is not enough.
Why? It meant nothing. I was never, in all those other times, I was resisting meant nothing. And if anything, if you created more anger, it was even worse.
You need to justify your answer. Otherwise, you are no fun. You are a dull and girl who needs to smile more often because it will make you look prettier. But look, it's way better to let them think that it's a no because you are someone else's property, not for any other reason or no reason at all. Otherwise, they are in danger of short-circuiting. You are taken. What a sentence, by the way. What about saying no and receiving a kiss instead? It may be more convincing. But again, we might even find it cute, romantic, daring. No, it's not. It's not romantic, cute, or daring. Sweep it under the rug. Well, it was my fault. I didn't stop it or slap him. I was at a low moment. I maybe needed it. I felt awkward saying no again. I felt awkward saying no again. Wow. Submission.
And because this is just a part of my world. The first time I was raped when I was 3 years old, and I was sexually molested until I was 16. And I couldn't actually look at my own naked body. Like taking a shower, of course I'm naked, but then like getting out of the shower, I would cover up and I would stay covered up until I could put on my clothes underneath my towel until I was in my, early 20s before I could finally take that towel off and dress as a woman I go through every single day. And it's not a matter of living, it's a matter of survival.
Normal is having a meeting with an opposite sex and being in constant alert. Don't dare to be relaxed, cool, or fun. You could send wrong signals and mislead him. You need to draw the line. Then you will have a relationship with some guy who will eventually confirm all this. You are only good for sex.
Only good for sex.
Because if you are having a meeting or you are working with men or simply have a male friend, it's not because you're worth it or have talent or are a nice, worthy person. It's because they want to hook up with you. Jealousy is normal and cute. Obsession. Justify oneself's actions and values against the reality this other is trying to impose. Psychological abuse and the fear that it may cross the border. Normal is being an object in some work positions, and also to encounter some partners that will ignore your opinion or underestimate your knowledge because you're a woman. For instance, to compose music, use wires or anything electronic, know some IT, use software, press any buttons, a knob is a must. What's normal for you? Because I would like to know.
I can't be free. I have to always be adjusting to what is around me so that I may survive my day.
Survive my day.
And that's I guess that's where I'll end this.